British Airways is een van de meest zichtbare Britse merken. De naam staat voor kwaliteit van alles wat Brits is. En heel wat passagiers hebben er een klein fortuin voor over om first class te vliegen met deze maatschappij.
A one-way fare is just over $10,000.
Maar de afgelopen 10 jaar verkeert de maatschappij financieel in zwaar weer. Er vliegen nu meer mensen met prijsvechter EasyJet dan met BA.
We all fly to the same destinations, so what can we do to stand out?
Terwijl British Airways op een keerpunt staat, krijgen camera's een unieke inkijk in het reilen en zeilen van het bedrijf. Van beslissingen op het hoogste niveau.
We're not as big in China as we should be, so getting this right is very important.
Tot de problemen die zich voordoen bij de dagelijkse gang van zaken.
552 roams back on stand to offload a passenger who having a panic attack.
Een aantal van de 40.000 medewerkers wordt op de voet gevolgd.
Do you know what the pressure is on?
Bij het werk dat aan de hoogste eisen moet voldoen.
Very disappointing.
In deze aflevering wordt een lichting nieuwe medewerkers gevolgd bij hun training.
It is almost like being in the military.
If you receive 4 snapshots, your contract may be terminated.
We zien hoe ze hun 280 toestellen in de lucht houden.
At this moment in time, it's broken.
En hoe 's werelds grootste passagiersvliegtuig vliegklaar wordt gemaakt.
It's started making history for us, really, isn't it? And I never do anything like that.
Het hoofdkantoor van British Airways staat in Waterside, even buiten Heathrow.
Hello, good morning. Hello. I am starting my initial training course today.
Just to remind you then to wear your passport times whilst you're in the building.
18 nieuwkomers beginnen vandaag aan hun opleiding tot cabinemedewerker.
Okay, well, firstly, welcome to the mixed fleet operation within British Airways, and congratulations. I know thousands and thousands of people applied this year to join us, and we selected approximately 800 people to be sat where you're sat now. So you've done extremely, extremely well.
Het cabinepersoneel is het visitekaartje van het bedrijf. Iedereen moet er dan ook piekfijn uitzien.
The skirt has to be on the knee, so that's absolutely fine.
Any drinks or snacks?
Voor veel trainees is het uniform een van de aantrekkelijke kanten van de baan.
Excited.
Very excited, yeah. Especially now I've got this.
Het beroep van stewardess is altijd al afgeschilderd als een glamourbaan. Een soort etikettenschool in de lucht.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may now unfasten your seatbelts and smoke if you wish.
Have you decided how you're going to wear your hair?
In a bun.
Or one of these
De 20-jarige Jodie Paris is een van de jongste nieuwkomers. Voor haar is deze baan een kans op een avontuurlijk bestaan.
I've been working 2 jobs for God knows how long now in this tiny little town, and there's just such a massive world out there that I haven't seen yet.
The hat is to be worn over the right eye.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're ready now, aren't you?
Love it. I'm really proud of myself, and I just can't wait to start and deliver a world-class service.
Maar niet iedereen die aan de opleiding begint zal ook het einde halen.
Some sessions are going to be very light-hearted. This one's a little bit heavier.
In de komende 6 weken zal blijken wie er geschikt is voor BA en wie niet.
It's an 80% pass mark. That's not hard.
De ervaren cabinemedewerkers Cy Jones en Nadine Phelan gaan bepalen of deze nieuwkomers uit het juiste hout gesneden zijn.
Time. Thank you. If you're a little bit late for your flight, do you think you can stick your thumbs out on the runway and get the 747 to pull over and pick you up? Not going to happen, guys, is it? So punctuality is definitely one we're going to be putting onto our course contract.
British Airways has always been renowned for its cabin crew, and certainly to get a job at British Airways is very hard. But I think it's because we don't want to dilute what we have.
We don't want anybody to fail. Do you think then if you're not getting it quite right, we're going to tell you?
Yeah.
Would you want to know if you're not getting it quite right? Yeah. We can do this either verbally or we can do it by what's called a training snapshot. In this occasion, points doesn't make prizes. We're not Bruce Forsyth. We don't want you to accrue snapshots. These snapshots are recorded, documented. You do not have the right to appeal, okay, and you're going to carry that with you for the rest of the course. If you receive 4 snapshots, your contract may be terminated, okay, because you're not demonstrating to us what we expect from British Airways cabin crew. All right, are you all happy? Oh, okay, happy is the wrong word. Do you all understand?
De waarschuwing van Cy is duidelijk overgekomen.
The snapshots and the points
Slightly terrifying?
Yeah, I think, slightly nerve-wracking, to be honest.
De 29-jarige trainee Alice Kennedy is een vliegtuigfanaat en haar grote hobby is vliegtuigspotten.
I would probably say I'm a bit of a plane geek and I love plane spotting. I was on the M25 in the summer and ashamedly so actually went into the back of a car because I was plane spotting.
Als het om vliegtuigen gaat is voor Alice de grote wel degelijk belangrijk.
That's an A340. I like the A340. It's really good and it's nice. It's got the 4 engines as well. You know, they're a bit more interesting. There's a bit more to look at. I definitely prefer to watch the bigger planes coming over. There's a 747 there, taking off, which is brilliant. It's my favourite plane. The noise and just the sheer size of the plane is just fascinating. I love it.
British Airways heeft de grootste jumbo-vloot ter wereld, maar ook een van de oudste. Veel toestellen hebben hun beste tijd gehad.
Okay, I just had a message from Mr. Walsh. He's going to be here in 15 minutes.
De CEO van British Airways, Willie Walsh, wil de vloot moderniseren. In samenwerking met meerdere banken werkt hij aan de vervanging van de toestellen.
If you look at the aircraft that we have on order, that we've committed to, the list price of all those aircraft is about 28 billion US dollars. Now, on any scale, this is a very big capital expenditure, very significant investment.
Een cruciaal nieuw toestel dat British Airways wil aanschaffen is de A380. Onderdelen van dit toestel worden in diverse Europese landen gebouwd, waarna het in Frankrijk wordt geassembleerd. Het is het grootste passagierstoestel ter wereld en kost 250 miljoen pond. Als deze delen zijn geassembleerd, komt de spanwijdte overeen met de lengte van 6 stadsbussen.
The airline industry is very competitive. The A380 is designed to make us more efficient, reduce our fuel bill, improve our environmental performance and give us the opportunity to expand our network as well.
Na 6 jaar voorbereiding wordt de komst van de A380 groots gevierd. En het mediaspectakel wordt luister bijgezet met de Britse vlag, de Union Jack, die het geheel een nationaal tintje moet geven. Maar het idee komt van een Nederlander, Frank van der Post.
The Brits are, I think, too reserved to talk about their own strengths. And when I came in, I said, guys, you don't understand what it means to be British, and we should be proud of that. Everybody kind of looks at you and they're like, what's this mad Dutchman all about? But there's something to celebrate. I mean, these aircraft are quite expensive, and I think there's expectations of customers, high expectations. And it's up to us to make sure that we deliver to those expectations.
Eigenlijk hebben al heel veel passagiers op Heathrow kennis gemaakt met de A380. Emirates heeft een vloot van 39 A380's en vliegt er al mee sinds 2008. Deze maatschappij vervoert meer passagiers dan zijn Britse rivaal en is een grote concurrent op het gebied van comfort.
Everything you see out the window is British. The wings are British, they're made in North Wales. The engines are British, Rolls-Royce, built in Derbyshire. But more importantly for our passengers, it's a beautiful aeroplane to travel in.
Het is altijd belangrijk geweest voor de winstcijfers om passagiers over te halen meer geld te besteden aan vliegen.
So this I think is the killer cabin. I think this is the one that's going to make BA lots of money. This is Traveller Plus. Got a slightly larger HD screen than we have in the economy cabins.
Slechts 14% van de passagiers vliegt business class of first class. Maar dit levert wel tot 45% van de inkomsten op. Het opleidingsinstituut is in Cranebank, een paar kilometer van Heathrow. Hier hebben generaties van cabinemedewerkers het recht verdiend om British Airways te vertegenwoordigen. De nieuwste lichting trainees komt in het kielzog van een harde strijd tussen werkgever en personeel. Na een periode van onrust en stakingen onder cabinepersoneel in 2010... heeft BA besloten dat nieuwkomers nieuwe arbeidsvoorwaarden krijgen die beter aansluiten bij wat het bedrijf noemt haar gemengde vloot. Deze lichting krijgt dezelfde training als hun voorgangers, maar ze krijgen minder betaald om het verschil met de budgetmaatschappijen te overbruggen.
JD, we're going to start with your brace positions. When you're ready, please adopt the crew brace position.
In de eerste 2 opleidingsweken staat de veiligheid centraal.
Thank you, Jodie. Going to move on to look at the smoke hood now. Show me how you'd get that smoke hood ready for use and if you'd like to correctly fit the smoke hood, please.
Het laatste dodelijke ongeval bij British Airways is 29 jaar geleden. De trainee moet elke noodprocedure met goed gevolg doorstaan.
Okay, Jodie, if you'd like to take that off now, please. Jodie, I'm sorry to say that you haven't met the standard for this assessment. In crew brace position, your head wasn't back. For the smoke hood, the bottom half of your bun was sticking out, so that can allow smoky air to get in, okay?
Jodie's fout levert haar een schriftelijke waarschuwing op.
Jodie, if you want to just go and take a seat down there for me.
Right, what just happened is the SCP equipment practical assessment and you failed it. So that means now that I need to give you a formal letter, which I'm going to give you a copy of to read. If you don't reach the required standard, your contract could be terminated with British Airways. Do you understand that?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So what we'll do now is we'll take you back downstairs.
I've worked so hard. It'd be such a shame to, you know, have it all thrown away for a couple of, you know, silly mistakes. It doesn't seem like I've worked hard because obviously I have failed a couple of things, but I am working so hard. You know, there's been a few nights where I haven't slept because I have been revising and stuff and going over my drills. It's not the easiest thing though. But it is.
Veel trainees komen van andere luchtvaartmaatschappijen en zij kennen het klappen van de zweep.
Don't worry. You've just
shown me. I can't get kicked off the course.
You're not going to get chucked off the course. You've just failed one exam and it's not the end of the world and you're going to go back and you've just shown me the correct position. So you do know it. Take this off when you go in because you can't brace with that jacket on. Okay. When I was at Virgin, I failed about 6 times.
Really?
In Cranebank gaan cabinemedewerkers in opleiding Patrick Flynn en Alice in een nagebouwd vliegtuiginterieur op onderzoek uit nadat er brand is gemeld in een toilet.
Okay, just push the door very slowly.
No, I don't need that now. There's no smoke.
Okay.
I mean, there's no fire, sorry, no flame.
You checked in the bin? Okay, so there are still flames, Patrick. You want to use the VCF?
Sorry.
Excellent. What have you found, Patrick? Okay, so you found matches. Excellent. Okay, I'll go and report back to the captain. Just bear with me.
De instructeurs zijn onder de indruk van Alice.
Yeah, that was just so long in that hood.
Alice helped him through that.
Alice was fantastic.
She really did. He went off. She prompted him all along.
He was really good. He was helping me.
Alice. Congratulations, you've passed.
Thanks, Any points?
No points.
Oh my god, amazing.
Your role as a coordinator just then is one of the best exercises I've seen recently, if not ever.
Thank you so much, that's lovely.
Voormalig callcenter-medewerker Patrick wil ook graag goed presteren.
Patrick, well done. You have passed, but you pick up 1 point. That's actual point, not a mark. That's like one. That is 1 point.
My friends think I've come to BA to serve coffee and to serve tea with stereotypical trolley dolly all smiley faces.
This is the captain. This is an emergency. Brace, brace.
Brace, brace! But I think BA cabin crew are the best crew in the world. It's the service that they give and it's the way that they deliver the service.
Patrick leaving from door 2 right.
Jodie leaving door 2 left.
And I think because of that, I'm feeling more apprehensive. But I just got to try and not let it get to me.
Lean forward.
I know I can do this job and I know I can pass this course. Is that everything?
That was not very good, that. No problem.
BA heeft een van de grootste onderhoudsbedrijven van het land, met 5500 monteurs die zich inzetten om de vliegtuigen in de lucht te houden. Het is een reusachtige machine die nooit stilstaat. Elke avond moet elk toestel worden geïnspecteerd voor het de lucht weer in mag. Als een toestel extra aandacht nodig heeft, komt er een speciale onderhoudsdivisie genaamd Casualty in actie. Ervaren monteur John Beatty doet dit nachtwerk nu al 26 jaar.
We have a look around the aircraft for any damage that may occur when it's on flight, those lightning strikes, bird strikes. And unfortunately, birds decide they like to hit the aircraft, and if they hit the engine, they could go down the engine. We then do a borescope, look inside to find out whether there's any more damage in there. You normally know because it smells awful.
Met ultrasone golven worden de turbinebladen gecontroleerd op haarscheurtjes.
We just put a bit of jelly onto each blade to just aid the sound. So here we have the decibel reader, and you see there we've got 300 decibels. If it was above 700, that might well mean we have to change that particular blade.
British Airways heeft 280 vliegtuigen die op 170 routes worden ingezet. En het is een hele klus ze allemaal in de lucht te houden. In een drukke nacht moeten soms wel 10 toestellen met uiteenlopende problemen worden gerepareerd.
We're changing the fuel control unit, or the FMU. That's the one that's going to go on. This is like a big carburetor.
Defecte vliegtuigen kosten elke luchtvaartmaatschappij veel geld. Passagiers komen niet op hun bestemming aan of missen hun aansluiting en het hele vluchtschema kan in het honderd lopen. In het Operations Center in Waterside worden constant alle zeilen bijgezet om het vluchtschema te handhaven. Het team hier is verantwoordelijk voor het totale vervoer van 110.000 passagiers per dag met 800 vluchten, waarvan er veel worden uitgevoerd met een Airbus.
We've got 111 aircraft in our Airbus fleet. There are 58 of them here and there are 53 of them overseas. Most aircraft will do 4 to 5 flights a day. We couldn't actually park them all on the ground at Heathrow at one time anyway because there isn't enough room. So it's a constant movement of aircraft in and out.
Steve Duffy is hoofdtechnicus Operations. Hij moet bijhouden welke defecte vliegtuigen niet tijdig kunnen worden ingezet.
Okay then, well we'll start off with Ian in the FSU then. Ian, if you could...
Elke nacht om 3 uur hoort hij wat de stand van zaken is.
Okay, uniform Tango's windscreen change. They're only just starting to refit it within the last hour. That's on an 06, but there's no way it's going to make 06.
No way that's going to happen. Well, I'll start looking at 12 o'clock, have a chat with Ops and see what we can do about it.
Echo Delta November, the FMU's fitted.
All right.
We're aiming to push that out for 4 o'clock and get some runs out of it. Hopefully that will make it 06 ETS.
All right, well, we'll keep a listening watch for that. We'll talk to you later, thank you.
Hello, mate.
Chippy, how are you?
Yeah, not bad. What's going on?
Windscreen change, having a bit of trouble with the sealant. Initial provisional estimate they're giving me is 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
I reckon it might go back a bit past that.
So if I roll the programme up to, to its last departure as such,
yeah,
happy with that?
Yeah, that'd be a good start.
Hello there, morning. We have got a couple of changes. They want to change uniform Tango. The windscreen isn't going to be coming up in time. You've got Uniform Hotel and you have Yankee Lima. Okay.
Toestel Uniform Tango zou om 8:40 klaar moeten staan voor een vlucht naar Aberdeen.
Okay.
Maar veiligheid komt altijd op de eerste plaats.
The windscreen has been fitted, but they had a problem. The gaps around the outside of the windscreen were not quite right. That's just gone backwards probably half an hour. It's not an easy job because of the pressure of the aircraft and the pressurization. There is actually a lot of force on that windscreen, and if it's not in the right place, if that screen fails, the consequences are catastrophic. They had a windscreen years ago that was fitted with incorrect screws, and the windscreen exited the aircraft, and the pilot was hanging out, and his head and his arms were flailing down the fuselage at how many thousand feet. The other pilot flying the aircraft had to deal with holding his colleague in place and flying and landing the aircraft. And that was a very, very stressful and dangerous situation for the flight crew.
Omdat Heathrow in een dichtbevolkt gebied ligt, moet er rekening worden gehouden met geluidsoverlast. De laatste vluchten landen voor middernacht, maar de onderhoudsdivisie moet de motoren van Echo Delta November testen. Want dat toestel moet de volgende ochtend om 8:10 vertrekken naar Tel Aviv.
Going on 1. Give us a call when you're ready.
De test vindt plaats in een speciale ruimte die met geluiddempend materiaal is bekleed. Het is al 4:30 en het team heeft problemen met de montage van een nieuwe brandstofmeter.
We've got a little leak. Now it may be that when we put it together we might have pinched the seal, maybe, or it's just a little We just nipped it up, and it may or may not cure it. We don't know yet.
They think they've got a fuel leak on the run.
Okay.
So they're just opening the cows to have a look at it.
Well, I mean, obviously we're just going to have to roll up at the moment. And yeah, literally just roll the whole pack up.
Alle toestellen worden ruim van tevoren ingeroosterd. En de roostermaker moet het probleemtoestel nu opschuiven naar een later tijdstip, in de hoop dat de reparatie nog tijdig wordt voltooid.
So I'm just basically creating a what-if situation. So worst comes to the worst. We can literally stretch it back to 11 o'clock. That'll be the next departure, which will be at Tel Aviv then.
Right, just give that a little couple of minutes or so and then I'll shut it down again, okay?
De manuren niet meegeteld besteedt de luchtvaartmaatschappij ongeveer 625 miljoen pond per jaar aan onderhoud.
It's probably in the region of $250,000 for a fuel metering unit for an Airbus aircraft. I think if you do the sort of work that we do, you tend to be isolated from the real costs because it is so vast. You know, one fuel unit is as much as your house, that you tend not to think about it in the same terms as everybody else. But I think we recognise that there is a vast cost to maintaining an aircraft.
Het vluchtrooster gaat over een uur in en er is geen goed nieuws voor Echo Delta November.
Is that exactly the same place? Okay, all right. If it's coming from exactly the same place, then we might have to just go for another seal there. All right, here we go. I'm not sure how long it's going to take, but at this moment in time, it's broken.
Okay, thanks then. Chippy, you're going to have to do a swap with the Beirut. Needs to come back in to take the fuel unit off again.
Zelfs met een vloot van 100 Airbussen is het niet zomaar een kwestie van even een vliegtuig omwisselen.
Because it's the M6 fleet, it's running out of Terminal 1. The 321 Airbus fleet down there is very specific. Reason being is because we offer a flatbed service to our passengers. So it's a very specific seating. The thing could happen is at 9 o'clock, is that if Echo Delta November doesn't come up, then we could go into problems.
Hoewel er nog aan 2 toestellen wordt gewerkt, is het team erin geslaagd de vertraging in de ochtend terug te brengen tot slechts een half uur.
Morning everybody! How are we all?
Vandaag staat er medische training op het programma.
Your lungs and liver might come out as well.
So we'll do as we did yesterday. Listen, we'll do as we did yesterday and go around the room.
Jodie heeft vandaag in elk geval iets aan haar voorbereiding.
Jodie, number 4. You are assisting a healthcare professional who needs to insert a catheter, lovely day you're having, from someone suffering from urine retention. You need 2. What would you need to do, Jodie?
Is it B?
Peel back the sterile packaging of the catheter, add some tepid water to activate the dry gel solution and it's ready for use. Exactly.
'S Middags oefenen de trainees in de simulator op reanimatie in een kleine ruimte.
Look how small this environment is. If you have a 14, 15, 20 stone man, how on earth are you going to move them anywhere but the aisle? So Jodie, you're coming down the cabin.
Ready?
And one of your passengers is not very well.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
There's no response.
Okay, Heather, we're going to need to do chest compressions. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Elbows
6,
straight.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I just stop it just once. I just want to give you a help because you seem to be bouncing the back of your hand up. So the heel of your hand always must be in contact with the chest.
Okay.
So show me some compressions.
Remain calm. Good compressions.
That's much better. Jodie, that's what I want. Okay? That's what I need. That's enough. Round of applause, I think. Jodie, you've listened to every word that I have said.
Really?
Those compressions were excellent. So you've done everything that I asked you to do. Well done, everybody.
Thank you.
Na de onderdelen veiligheid en medische training leren de trainees wat het betekent om het visitekaartje te zijn van de luchtvaartmaatschappij.
Oh no, I have bought spare pair. Oh, already? Oh my god.
Bij het onderdeel klantenservice moet het uniform altijd tip-top in orde zijn.
Nothing's moving that today. Lovely, thanks so much.
Ladies and gents, are we happy to begin. If you've got a handbag on one shoulder and then your bag on the other shoulder, you're all going to be ruffled and your shoulder pads are going to come up.
All right. It's all right.
It's all right.
Patrick.
You're wearing your scarf.
Yeah, put it round, and it just fell down now. Somebody nearly said something in the canteen, so I was like, it's my first day, don't worry, I'm going to get told now how to put it on.
Are we all happy? Good morning.
De trainees leren om permanent kritisch op zichzelf te zijn. Ze worden geconfronteerd met hun eigen imperfecties.
Step forward. Oh, right.
Met behulp van een paar speciale spiegels.
Are you looking the part?
The magic mirrors, they are mirrors essentially, but when you approach the mirror, you will see a member of our staff wearing their uniform to the correct standard, and it's something that delegates can model themselves against.
You're looking very baggy at the front there.
I would perhaps suggest that some are a little bit overwhelmed by how much their uniform is going to be looked at every single step of the journey. But, you know, there's no room for ambiguity and they're all well informed.
It could be 9 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Your hair and makeup must look immaculate. This isn't amnesty today, and we won't snapshot you today. But if the behaviour continues, then obviously from here on in, it's a snapshot. We've got the library.
Als ze zich niet houden aan de kledingvoorschriften, kan dat het einde van de opleiding betekenen. De instructeurs moeten benadrukken hoe belangrijk dit aspect is, vooral bij het contact met first-class passagiers.
Everybody's got aircrafts made by Boeing or Airbus. We all fly to the same destinations and we've all got flatbeds. So what can we do to stand out? The service, and that all comes down to you guys. Now let's talk money. So say we're going to Los Angeles, that's a 10.5-hour flight. How much do you think a Club World ticket is? For a fully flexible, 9,500. John just hit the nail on the head. What did you just say, John?
You want your money's worth.
Exactly.
With a smile, in the premium way.
You're going to be expecting the very best.
£9,500 return to LA for 10.5 hours. For me, it's like the other half live. That's nearly my entire year's wages.
It's just so crazy. I can't believe someone paying that much. Like, it makes me feel really worried. I'm actually really worried. Like, I'm actually scared. Like, they must expect so much if they're paying £9,000 for a flight. Like, that's just crazy, isn't it?
Gratis vliegen zit er op Heathrow niet in, maar toch wordt bij de onderhoudsdivisie nog wel eens een verstekeling aangetroffen.
We did have an incident where somebody had tried to stow away on board the airplane, but fortunately he didn't realise it was coming over here, and because when we opened an undercarriage door to do a check, he fell out.
What would have happened if he'd flown?
He would have died. It's minus 56 or more, plus you haven't got the oxygen in there, so you will die.
Is that right? Why can you only see that bit of yours, but you can see the whole?
Because I put it slightly higher.
So should I put mine higher?
Het einde van de opleiding is in zicht. En voor de trainees die snapshots hebben gescoord, is de spanning te snijden. Wie er 4 of meer heeft, kan de opleiding verder wel vergeten.
Patrick, we obviously need to get him in before we start the next session. Susan, do you mind staying in the room as a witness?
No, of course I will.
Okay.
Patrick heeft zijn 3e snapshot gescoord omdat hij de stoelindeling van toestellen voor de lange afstand is vergeten.
Seat lettering across a row of World Traveller seats. It's 343, and you put 242. And then just one more. You've got that door wrong, but you've got them inboard and not outboard.
Right.
All right.
Right, okay. Well, it's not okay, but I don't know what I can do. I don't know what I can do about it.
Well,
because I do know the 747 technical, and I do know the 777 technical.
Right. Well, you know what's coming next.
I do, yeah.
Snapshot I'm going to be delivering to you. It's going to be a 3rd snapshot.
Right, okay.
Which results in a written warning. We can't afford to get another snapshot now.
No, I can't.
Because that would be 4 snapshots, and you know the limit is 4.
Yeah.
All right, so I just want to stress the importance to you. Our expectations are that you don't get any more snapshots.
It's very, very strict. I didn't expect it to be so strict, but if I get another snapshot, then that would be pretty much it. Then that means I've got nothing. I don't even want to think about that, because I've got no job. I've given up my job to be here. I've saved up, like, literally thousands of pounds to be here. So if that ever happened, touch wood, it never would. I don't even know what I'd do.
Op Terminal 5 van Heathrow arriveert de bemanning voor de eerste lange vlucht met de A380 naar Los Angeles. En voor de bestemming Hollywood stappen er 2 celebrities aan boord. Melanie C. en X-Factor-winnaar Matt Cardle. De complete bemanning verzamelt zich in het bemanningsverblijf. Los Angeles is een belangrijke bestemming in de luchtvaart en met beroemde passagiers aan boord moet er natuurlijk perfecte service worden geboden.
Yeah, I'm as confident as you can.
Tijd voor een pep talk van manager customer service Rob Nicol.
Do you know what, gang? I'm going to sit down. It's an incredibly high-profile flight today. Quite genuinely, you know, the world is watching. Our competitors are watching. So, do you know what? The pressure is on. I won't lie, but you're all sat here for a reason. Personally, as your manager on the day, I've got 100% faith in each and every one of you. It is just an aeroplane, yeah? Galley's a galley, teapot's a teapot, door's a door. It's just a wee bit bigger, this one. And can we all just contract with each other now that we're going to look after each other, yeah?
Do number 3, if you're happy.
Terwijl de laatste controles van het toestel plaatsvinden,
I'm Frank van der Post.
worden de eerste passagiers begroet door Frank van der Post.
Yeah, it's a quick trip for me, but it's an exciting moment, isn't it? It's quite special. I think we're going through this door, right? Yeah.
Just want to head straight across and turn right, okay?
Business class tickets kosten een paar duizend pond en economy class een paar honderd. Maar dan moet je ook met minder ruimte genoegen nemen.
Let's go.
6 jaar nadat de A380 is besteld, is het toestel van British Airways eindelijk op weg naar Hollywood.
So in this session we're going to have a look at how do we manage challenging situations.
Het is middag en de cabinemedewerkers in opleiding krijgen les in klantenservice.
Sir? Sir? Sir?
Het acteertalent van instructeur Sai komt goed van pas bij het rollenspel over het omgaan met lastige situaties. Alice moet leren op een beleefde manier een passagier met overgewicht te helpen die zijn gordel niet vast kan krijgen.
Can I just ask you all to fasten your seatbelts, please?
Mine doesn't fit.
Right, okay. I'll go and get you an extension seatbelt and we can attach them.
Would
you? No! Okay, well, we do need to make sure your seatbelts are fastened.
You've got a blanket so I can put over top of it then?
I'm afraid we do need to make sure that the seatbelts are visible at all times.
What did she say?
Needs to be visible at all times.
Needs to be visible at all times. And again, it's that assertive behaviour that we want to see when you are challenged by a customer. We want to see you actually doing things like that. Really well done, Alice.
Jodie moet een gesprek zien te voeren met een Franse dame.
Excuse me. Bonjour. Bonjour. Would you be able to...
Je ne comprends pas d'anglais.
That's why I tried as well.
What is she speaking?
You don't speak the language. Please don't try to think you sound French. Think of how you'd feel. First and foremost, you'd be a little bit insulted. Please don't try to do it with another accent.
Mr. Johnson, here's your seat. Okay, so you're just right on the edges here.
Jodie heeft al 2 snapshots en nu verloopt haar rollenspel verre van vlekkeloos.
Where's your trolley?
Hello, sir. Can I get you something to drink?
Yeah, I'll have a red wine, please.
A red wine.
Just in front. Right, this customer is visually impaired. Remember that booklet we gave you on day 1? It tells you how to talk to our customers who are visually impaired, describing where you're placing things on the tray table. Imagine a clock. So talk about, you're going to place it in the 6 o'clock position.
I'm going to place your mind in the... Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Lovely, thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you. It's fantastic.
Met instructeurs die je op de vingers kijken, wordt thee schenken opeens een spannende aangelegenheid.
Here's your cup of tea, sir. Would you like any sugar or sweetener in it? Sure.
Explain where you put it. So think about clock face at the 12 o'clock position.
the teapot's in the 12 o'clock position. Why are you laughing?
Go for it.
Please.
That's my fault, sorry.
Jodie, just to let you know
if I could get through. In the 12 o'clock position for you, okay? And you've got a little chocolate just left of it, okay?
Thank you. Jodie, I'm just going to finish off the coffee service. I just need to squeeze past, okay? Thank you.
Would you like another coffee?
Thinking it through, which is what I want to see. I'm trying to coach you through it. All right, and this is all alien to you. But don't get upset because you look like you're about to burst into tears. All right.
It's all about teamwork. Communicate.
And this is for everybody. Okay. Is it really important to going away and reading that booklet I gave you on additional needs customers?
Were you trying not to laugh? Oh, that's good then. What about?
Yeah, but he thinks I was crying, so that's even better.
Yeah, that's better.
He was like, Jodie, don't get upset.
Deze oefening levert Jodie haar derde snapshot op.
Basically, I couldn't take the fact that my friends were acting differently. I don't know, it just made me laugh. So I didn't stay focused. When I was serving them, I found it slightly funny, but, you know, I just wish that I stayed focused because at the end of the day, they weren't being assessed, I was. So I just accepted the snapshot and just said, I'm sorry.
So are you worried?
Yeah, of course. Really worried, like, imagine now I have a ladder in my tights, I've got a little bit of hair sticking out, that's a snapshot. So it could be something so small that could get me kicked off the course. I've just got I've got to watch my back like 24/7 because any little thing could jeopardise all this hard work and, you know, all these sleepless nights, you know.
De A380 is nu een paar uur onderweg. En voor Sarah en haar first class menu breekt het moment van de waarheid aan.
Seared scallops with pea puree, asparagus and truffle sauce. Okay? You're welcome.
Vaste first class passagier Peter Walker maakt 300 vluchten per jaar. Voor hem en zijn gezelschap zijn de verwachtingen hoog gespannen.
Yeah, it's certainly one of the most sophisticated British Airways menus I've seen, sir.
Ambitious, as you say, always nice to try new things.
There's also a heck of a lot of food here. 3-4 starters. The sustainably sourced 7&Y cod, which we still don't understand because cod is an Atlantic fish. Then you have this whole light bites. Very, very ambitious.
Exciting new plane, an exciting new first class proposition. They've had to push the boat out. Let's see how they deliver.
Het voorgerecht is een soufflé en een brioche.
I'm doing the gruyere cheese and soufflé. Yeah, I'll play that up for you.
Maar zal de opgewarmde maaltijd ook echt smaken?
I'm gonna have to try a bit. Do you mind? Of course you will. They've been overly optimistic to think that they can deliver a soufflé. I think
I have to put that into a word, I'd say it's a disaster. The only thing I can taste in that are the little seeds.
Whatever that seed is, it's the kind of thing it's overbearing.
Gruyere cheese with whole grain mustard souffle with autumn vegetable salad. You have this experience in your mind of what might come, and then you have that.
Visually, it's disappointing.
How's yours?
The parfait itself delivers an acceptable flavour. It's good, it's light, as a parfait should be. The brioche is where this is disappointing. Brioche should be crispy on the outside, soft on the inside, and that's just solid all the way through. It's like one of those toasts you buy in a French supermarket.
Very disappointing.
Het valt niet mee om aan de verwachtingen van first class passagiers te voldoen.
I don't believe it's overambitious because it's what our customers have been asking us for a long time, which is why we're doing it. I think overambitious, no. Teething problems, yes.
Maar Frank blijft optimistisch.
Very well cooked. Nice and moist. Yeah, so far so good. There's a second meal service coming.
Yep. Yes. Yeah, you're going to make tea next.
Yeah, they're all sleeping now. Who knows, they wake up cranky, I don't know.
In Cranebank is er intussen slecht nieuws. Een van de trainees heeft een 4e en laatste snapshot gescoord.
Guys, welcome back from your lunch. As you probably noticed, there's one team member missing. Patrick, unfortunately, won't be joining us for the remainder of this course. Now, I know it's a very difficult piece of information for you to digest now, but we had to make that decision. We are here, of course, to support you, so we will respect and wait for you and how much time you need.
Would you all like a moment?
Okay. So we'll be here, so do come back.
You think that it's always a possibility, but you never think that it will actually happen. He was such a big character, so I think people have been really sad and a bit puzzled.
It is quite hard because you don't really want to see anybody off the course, but this is the process and this is what we do at British Airways. This is the way that we do it.
Did they get a chance to say goodbye to her?
No, they don't. They don't get the chance to say goodbye to any of their colleagues on the course. So a trainer would go in and collect the belongings of the delegate that's been terminated.
De stap om jonger en goedkoper cabinepersoneel aan te trekken is strategisch gezien een succes gebleken voor het bedrijf. Er zijn duizenden belangstellenden, dus British Airways kan zich een streng beleid permitteren.
You are presenting British Airways. You are an ambassador for British Airways.
Just because you're not in the classroom doesn't mean somebody isn't seeing you. You don't know who works for British Airways and who doesn't.
De opleiding van nieuwkomers is een serieuze aangelegenheid voor het bedrijf. En het vertrek van Patrick laat de resterende trainees zien dat British Airways hoge verwachtingen van ze heeft.
It starts from day one. There is no, oh, we'll let you off this time. It's you get a snapshot if you're wrong and then you get out if you've got too many. So I think the course is intense to show you this is what you're getting into. A bit of a heads up rather than being a total shock on your first flight.
De landing van de A380 op LAX betekent dat British Airways met nieuw personeel en een nieuwe vloot op de goede weg is om zijn positie in de luchtvaartmarkt te versterken. Net als Patrick moet ook BA constateren dat fouten hard worden afgestraft. Volgende keer problemen in New York als de sneeuw toeslaat.
This is our fourth major snow event and it is a little iffy.
Een chaotische opening van een nieuwe route naar China.
Currently the systems are down. We're trying to resolve it.
En lukt het Jodie om te slagen met 3 snapshots? Aflevering gemist? Ga naar rtlxl.nl.